What is debt? Debt is an interesting avenue for funding, both facilitating economic growth while also proving to be a major contributor in the economic collapse of many different people. This makes it very important for everyone to understand debt and to know how they can use debt to their advantage without falling into its traps. That's what this video is for. Debt, by definition, is when someone owes money to someone else. This usually happens because one of these people, usually in a desperate need of immediate money for some reason, asks someone else for a lump sum of money, promising to pay the other person back in the future, along with interest. Now, not all debt is the same. Sometimes you can get debt that is as low as 2% a year in interest, while other times it's much higher. Let's use 20% for this example. You can see that while the 2% interest debt only accumulates about $4 of interest in 2 years, the 20% debt can pile up $44 in the same amount of time. This makes it almost impossible to pay off debt with this amount of interest because a person with a low to medium salary would be stuck almost completely paying off the interest at higher initial principals. Because of this, these interest rates are very important when deciding what debts are better than others, as some can be turned into positives. Debts on homes and other valuable appreciating items often have lower interest rates because the item can be used as something called collateral, which means that if the debt isn't paid back, the company will just take the property. Because of these low interest rates, something called going into debt can be beneficial. Here's how. Let's say that you're buying a $100,000 house with $20,000 down payment and 5% interest over 30 years. That'll make your monthly payment $429. However, if you invested an additional $80,000 into the stock market at the average rate of return of 8%, you'll both be able to pay off the debt and retain a whopping $234,000, which is double what you initially had. Therefore, with an initial investment of $100,000 and some debt over 30 years, you can end up with a $100,000 house that is likely appreciated, which you would have had without the debt, but you would also have $234,000 extra dollars, whereas you would have just had the house had you not used debt to your advantage. In summary, I hope that you can see that even though debt can be very bad financially for anyone, not all debt is the same, and some can be turned to benefit you in the long run if used properly. Thank you for watching.